Kei Nishikori has finally spoken out, and what he disclosed has rocked the tennis world. Caught in a years-long affair that's now exploding into full view, the former Grand Slam finalist is facing public shame, legal fallout, and a crumbling family life. With his career hanging by a thread, is this the downfall of Japan's greatest tennis icon? Kei Nishikori stands as one of Japan's most celebrated tennis players. He reached his career-high ATP ranking of world number 4 in March 2015 and became a household name when he reached the 2014 US Open final, losing to Marin Cilic. Throughout his career, Nishikori has secured 12 ATP titles and reached the quarterfinals at Wimbledon in 2018 and 2019. Currently ranked 61st in the world, he has been dealing with ongoing injury issues that have kept him away from major tournaments. In 2020, Nishikori married Mai Yamaguchi, an actress also known by her stage name Ako Mizuki, after a 5-year relationship. The couple has 2 young children, ages 4 and 1, and appeared to live a stable family life away from the tennis courts. However, recent revelations have shattered this image completely. The scandal erupted when Japanese tabloid Shukan Bunshun published explosive photographs showing Nishikori visiting model Azuki Oguchi's apartment and the two leaving together. The 32-year-old model has now become central to a story that spans multiple years and involves deception, legal intervention, and heartbreak. According to Shukan Bunshun's investigation, the affair began in 2022 when Nishikori met Azuki Oguchi in Honolulu, Hawaii. This meeting occurred just 2 years after his marriage to Mai Yamaguchi, making the timing particularly damaging. What started as an encounter in Hawaii would develop into a secret relationship that would continue for years. The affair timeline disclosed a complex web of deception. During 2023, the secret relationship faced its first major crisis when Oguchi's then-boyfriend discovered the affair and confronted both her and Nishikori. The confrontation was serious enough that Nishikori hired a lawyer in an attempt to mediate the situation and avoid a public scandal. The legal intervention appeared to work temporarily, as the relationship reportedly came to an end in 2023. However, the story takes an even more dramatic turn in 2024 when the affair resumed. According to sources cited by Shukan Bunshun, Nishikori allegedly told Oguchi that he no longer loves his wife and that he stayed in his marriage solely for the sake of their children. These reported statements show the depth of the marital problems and suggest that Nishikori's commitment to his family had severely deteriorated. The scandal finally exploded into public view when recent photographs surfaced showing Nishikori visiting Oguchi's apartment. The images, published by Shukan Bunshun, provided undeniable evidence of their continued relationship and forced Nishikori into a position where he could no longer maintain his silence. Facing mounting pressure and undeniable evidence, Nishikori issued a public apology that acknowledged his dishonest behavior. In his statement, he said, "I deeply apologize for causing discomfort to everyone who supports me, tennis fans, associations, sponsors, and other related parties, and for their concern and inconvenience due to my dishonest behavior." The apology continued with personal remorse. "Additionally, I deeply regret making my wife and children feel hurt." Nishikori's statement was notably formal and brief, suggesting careful legal and public relations guidance in its preparation. Looking toward the future, Nishikori attempted to project a reformed image, stating, "Moving forward, in order to fulfill my role as a responsible member of society, I will focus solely on tennis competitions and achieving results. We will do everything possible to regain their trust." The scandal's impact on Nishikori's career has been immediate and severe. He was forced to withdraw from both the French Open and Wimbledon, citing injuries. However, the timing of these withdrawals coincides suspiciously with the brewing scandal, raising questions about whether the injuries were the primary reason or if the personal turmoil played a significant role in his absence from these major tournaments. The career implications extend beyond tournament participation. Nishikori's sponsorship deals and endorsement contracts could face serious review, as companies typically include moral clauses that allow them to terminate agreements when athletes face public scandals. His current ranking of 61st in the world already reflected his struggle with injuries, but the scandal adds another layer of uncertainty to his professional future. The tennis community has remained largely silent on the matter, which is typical when personal scandals affect players. However, the global media coverage has been extensive, with news outlets worldwide reporting on the story and analyzing its implications for one of Asia's most prominent tennis players. The impact on Nishikori's family cannot be understated. Mai Yamaguchi has remained silent throughout the scandal, neither confirming nor denying the reports. Her silence speaks volumes about the private pain the family is experiencing. The couple's two young children, ages 4 and 1, are at ages where they may not fully understand the situation now, but will likely face questions and scrutiny as they grow older. The scandal also highlights cultural differences in how affairs are handled in Japanese society compared to Western cultures. In Japan, public shame and loss of face carry particularly heavy social consequences, making Nishikori's public apology even more significant within his home country's cultural context. The question now becomes whether Nishikori can mount a successful comeback both personally and professionally. At 35 years old, he is in the later stages of his tennis career, making any extended absence particularly costly. His ranking will continue to drop without tournament play, and sponsors may distance themselves until the scandal subsides. Other athletes have successfully recovered from personal scandals, but it typically requires sustained excellence on the field of play combined with genuine personal rehabilitation. Tiger Woods provides perhaps the most famous example of an athlete recovering from an affair scandal, though his path back to success took years and coincided with championship-level performance. The legal implications of the situation remain unclear. While adultery itself is not a criminal matter in most jurisdictions, the involvement of lawyers during the 2023 crisis suggests there may have been concerns about other potential consequences, possibly related to privacy, defamation, or contractual obligations. Nishikori's statement promising to focus solely on tennis competitions and achieving results suggests he intends to let his performance on court speak for him moving forward. However, his recent injury problems and tournament withdrawals raise questions about whether he can return to competitive form quickly enough to rebuild his reputation through tennis success. The scandal represents a dramatic fall from grace for a player who had achieved historic success as the first Asian man to reach a Grand Slam final and had reached the world number 4 ranking. The contrast between his professional achievements and current personal crisis illustrates how quickly public perception can change when private behavior becomes public knowledge. The coming months will determine whether Kei Nishikori can successfully navigate this crisis and rebuild both his career and his family relationships, or whether this scandal will define the final chapter of what had been a groundbreaking tennis career. The internet exploded on June 19, 2025, when eagle-eyed fans discovered that Selena Gomez and Hailey Bieber had unfollowed each other on Instagram, officially ending their 27-month social media truce. This mutual unfollow caught everyone completely off guard, especially considering the public peace treaty these two had maintained since March 2023. The drama between Selena Gomez and Hailey Bieber stems from their shared connection to Justin Bieber. Selena dated Justin on and off from 2010 to 2018 in what became one of the most scrutinized celebrity relationships of the decade. The same year Selena and Justin broke up for good in 2018, Justin married Hailey, creating an inevitable triangle that would fuel years of speculation and fan wars. For years, the internet was consumed with rumors of a bitter feud between Selena and Hailey. Fans scrutinized every social media post, every public appearance, and every interaction for signs of drama. The tension reached a breaking point until something unexpected happened in October 2022 at the Academy Museum Gala in Los Angeles. The two women shocked the world by posing together for smiling photographs, appearing to publicly end their alleged feud. This surprising peace treaty became official in March 2023 when both women followed each other on Instagram. The move came after Selena had urged her fans to stop harassing Hailey online. "I've always advocated for kindness and really want this all to stop," Selena wrote on Instagram stories at the time, after Hailey had reached out to her about the online abuse she was receiving from Selena's fanbase. During their 27-month truce, both women made public displays of support for each other. When Selena got engaged to her boyfriend Benny Blanco in December 2024 after 1 year of dating, Hailey double-tapped the announcement, showing her support. Selena returned the favor by liking an Instagram post from Hailey's Road Skin account, celebrating her first Vogue cover in May 2025. Most notably, when Hailey received death threats from online haters in 2023, Selena backed her via Instagram stories, calling for kindness and speaking out against bullying. However, cracks began to show in recent months. Justin Bieber's behavior became increasingly cryptic, with the Grammy winner posting weird Instagram rants and memes without explanation. More tellingly, Justin recently unfollowed Selena's fiancé, Benny Blanco, on social media, raising questions about his motivations and mental state. The timing of the unfollow becomes even more suspicious when considering recent business developments. Hailey's Road skincare brand recently secured a massive $1 billion acquisition deal with ELF Cosmetics, marking a significant milestone in her entrepreneurial journey. Not even a week after this major business announcement, Selena posted a photo of herself blowing a kiss with a "Still Here" caption, which many interpreted as either shade or a confident statement. Fan reactions to the unfollow have been explosive and divided. Selena's supporters, known as Selenators, have largely praised the decision as long overdue, suggesting she's finally protecting her peace and stepping back from unnecessary drama. Her net worth is about $300 million, less than half of Selena's, one Selenator claimed, pushing back against theories that jealousy motivated the unfollow. Meanwhile, Hailey's supporters have suggested different motivations. Selena saw that Hailey became richer than her and got super jealous, one pro-Hailey user wrote on X, formerly Twitter. However, this theory quickly drew backlash, with fans pointing out the inaccuracies. Hailey is not a billionaire. She may have sold her company for $1 billion, but she wasn't the sole owner, one fan corrected. A significant portion of fans expressed pure exhaustion with the ongoing drama. "Not again this stupid drama, imagine how tired we are," they wrote, while another pleaded, "Lord, let us be free." This sentiment reflects the broader public fatigue with celebrity feuds that seem to resurface cyclically. The unfollow has reignited speculation about the true nature of their relationship during the truce period. Many fans now question whether the two women were genuinely friends or simply maintaining a facade to stop the toxic fan wars that had dominated social media for years. The mutual benefit of their public peace was obvious. It reduced harassment for both parties and allowed them to focus on their respective careers and personal lives. Technical analysis of the Instagram unfollow suggests that one party may have blocked the other to create the appearance of a mutual unfollow. Fans have speculated that either Bieber or Gomez blocked the other to look like a mutual unfollowing rather than a one-sided decision. The business competition angle cannot be ignored. Both women have built successful beauty empires, Selena with Rare Beauty and Hailey with Rhode. The financial success of both brands creates an inherent competitive dynamic, especially when both are targeting similar demographics and market segments. Hailey's recent billion-dollar deal with ELF Cosmetics represents a major validation of her business acumen and could have triggered feelings of competition. Adding fuel to the speculation fire are ongoing rumors about marital issues between Justin and Hailey Bieber. The couple, who welcomed their son Jack Blues in August 2024, have faced rampant speculation about their marital status, according to recent reports. Justin's cryptic social media behavior, including his alleged subtle jabs at Selena and his decision to unfollow Benny Blanco, suggests possible underlying tensions. Despite the speculation, Hailey addressed the persistent rumors in a May 2025 interview with Vogue, insisting that her marriage to Justin remains strong. You would think after having a child, people would maybe move on, chill out a little bit, but no, the makeup mogul told the publication, expressing frustration with the continued scrutiny. The unfollow represents more than just a social media gesture. It reflects the complex reality of celebrity relationships in the digital age. For Selena, who is 32 and recently engaged, the decision might represent a desire to move forward without maintaining connections to her past. For Hailey, who is 28 and focused on her business success and motherhood, the unfollow might signal a similar desire to focus on her current priorities. Neither Selena Gomez nor Hailey Bieber has publicly commented on the unfollow, leaving fans to speculate about the true motivations. Representatives for both women have not responded to media requests for comment, maintaining the mystery around their decision. The situation highlights how celebrity social media behavior has become a form of performance art, where every follow, unfollow, like, and comment is analyzed for deeper meaning. In this case, the June 19, 2025 unfollow has successfully reignited public interest in a story that many thought had reached its conclusion. As fans continue to debate the motivations and implications, one thing remains clear. The Selena Gomez and Hailey Bieber saga continues to captivate public attention, proving that some celebrity stories have remarkable staying power in the social media age. Whether this latest development leads to renewed public conflict or simply represents a quiet end to their digital connection remains to be seen.
Colonel Blake? Yes, sir.
My fault.
You out there? Do you hear me? This is Lieutenant Colonel Henry Blake. Do you hear me?
Son of a gun, here's pretty good.
He was the heart of MASH, the soul behind the laughter, and then he vanished. When McLean Stevenson suddenly left the show at its peak, no one knew the truth, until now. What really happened behind the scenes will break your heart and change the way you see one of TV's most beloved characters. Before MASH, McLean Stevenson wasn't a household name, but he had something: charisma, warmth, and a rare comedic timing. When he landed the role of Lieutenant Colonel Henry Blake in 1972, everything changed. Audiences immediately fell in love with Blake, the bumbling, well-meaning commanding officer who brought levity to the horrors of war. Stevenson brought a depth to the role that no one expected. Beneath the jokes was a man trying to hold his unit together, and it resonated. By the show's second season, Maz H had become a ratings juggernaut, but behind the scenes, Stevenson was growing restless. He had been working in television for years, often in supporting roles or behind the scenes. MASH was his breakout, but success came with a cost: the realization that no matter how beloved his character was, the spotlight was shifting elsewhere. And that spotlight, more and more, was focused on Alan Alda. What many don't realize is that Stevenson wasn't just chasing fame. He was chasing creative fulfillment. He had ideas, pitches, and hopes for where his character could go, but those ideas often took a backseat to Hawkeye's expanding arc. It slowly chipped away at his confidence. In 1975, at the end of Season 3, McLean Stevenson made a shocking decision. He was leaving the show. Officially, it was to pursue other opportunities, but the truth, as he would later admit, ran deeper. Stevenson felt overshadowed. Alan Alda's Hawkeye Pierce was increasingly becoming the show's centerpiece. Scripts revolved around him. Interviews focused on him, and Stevenson, despite being a core part of the ensemble, felt invisible. He once said he wanted to be number one, but Masked was Alan's show. It wasn't bitterness, it was heartbreak. Stevenson loved the show, loved the cast, but he believed he had more to give, more to show, and he didn't want to be forever known as the second lead. There was also the allure of stardom. Networks promised him starring roles, bigger deals, greater visibility. It felt like the right time to leap, but no one could have predicted how that leap would land. In hindsight, he realized the promises made were mostly hollow. The projects he was pitched weren't driven by the same integrity, talent, or vision as Maz H. It was a different world, and it wasn't what he expected. So he left, and the writers gave his character an exit that shocked America. In the final episode of Season 3, Henry Blake receives discharge orders. He's going home. The camp throws a party. He boards a chopper. Everyone smiles. It feels like a happy ending, until the final scene. Radar enters the operating room, face pale, voice shaking, and says,
Lieutenant Colonel Henry Blake's plane was shot down over the Sea of Japan. It spun in. There were no survivors.
Lieutenant Colonel Henry Blake's plane was shot down. There were no survivors. The audience gasped. America cried. It was one of the first times a major TV character was killed off without warning. And it was McLean's fate, written as a final, unforgettable goodbye. The cast reportedly didn't know the ending until moments before filming. The emotion was raw, real, and it made history. Producers later revealed the decision to kill off Blake was meant to underscore the brutal reality of war, that not everyone gets to go home. It wasn't just a TV twist, it was a statement. For McLean, the choice cut deep. He hadn't expected such finality. He once admitted he would have preferred a more open-ended departure, one that left the door open. But the door was closed. Firmly. Still. That moment became iconic. It elevated the show from a wartime sitcom to a bold narrative about loss, sacrifice, and unpredictability. And McLean's performance, even in absence, became a lasting symbol of that shift. After MASH, Stevenson went on to star in several sitcoms. Stevenson went on to his own series, The McLean-Stevenson Show, Hello, Larry, and Condo. All were short-lived, and he later conceded that leaving MASH was the mistake of his career. What fans didn't always see was how deeply he missed that connection. The camaraderie, the writing, the impact. His later roles felt lighter, less grounded, and never earned the same critical acclaim. Producers and co-stars alike recognized his talent, but many felt he was miscast in the roles that followed. He was trying to recreate Henry Blake in shows that didn't understand the heart behind the humor. Off-screen, Stevenson was generous and humble. He rarely spoke ill of Mazich or its creators, but those closest to him said it lingered, the ache of what might have been. He was often invited to Maz H cast reunions,